Tinubu's obsession with Kano and Northern Backlash. Obviously, it's a very terrible one. Ganduje, the chairman, national chairman of APC, and the Tinubu are actually bent on getting Kano because of the so-called misconception of population in Kano that normally influences general election in Nigeria. So now a write-up is up here, and it's about Tinubu's obsession with Kano and Northern Backlash. Because the way it is now, Kano is also another ticking time bomb. NNPP won that state and was, inaugurated into office. And right now, judiciary has overturned that victory and handed it over to APC. So there's actually a calculated attempt by the APC to use judiciary technicalities to knock off all other oppositions from position. And that is exactly what is about to create tension in Kano. And the question is, if there's high tension or riot or protest in Kano, how will that influence the rest of the northern states? So that is more like a backlash, in preparation, ready to go off anytime. But let's dive into the detail to see exactly what this person is trying to tell Nigerians. Since pre-independence, Kano politics has been radical and non-aligned. Even when the state finds itself pitching tents with the center, its leftist tendency never dies. Both Sadauna of Sokoto and Shagari did not find favors with Kano politics despite sharing similar ethnic cultural biases and the Hausawan Kanawa. History reminds us about how Kano jettisoned his son Alhaji Bashir Tufa, who was the presidential candidate of NRC and openly dashed his hope for SDP's Chief Abiola. For Kanawa, politics has a deeper meaning and purpose, and both are aligned to emancipation of Talakawa masses, which is masses, okay? Talakawa means masses. So in Kano politics, Talaka, common man, not the elite, holds the four aces. Oh boy. This should be clear to any discerning mind. Kano is blessed with the numbers, resources, and ideological persuasion. It's quite unique that it once rejected Kwakwanso, but later made him both a king and a kingmaker. So what that tells us is that you can lose Kano and later gain its total control by doing the right thing. So if there is one thing Kano people will not condone, is testing their will by imposition of unpopular candidates, which they collectively rejected at the polls. This is akin to riding a tiger by the tail. And it is exactly where I see Tinubu failing to learn from the history. What am I trying to convey here? The answer will be clear when I analyze the dynamics of both 2023 and 2027 elections. So in 2023, the North had two presidential candidates, Atiku and Kwakwanso. So all the South, Tinubu and also the South, Tinubu and Peter Obi. If you go back a bit, you would realize that Atiku Obi and Kwakwanso, two opposition candidates from the North and one from the South, were all members of PDP and combined their votes in 2023 surpassed Tinubu's by a wide margin beyond any tricky manipulations. Technically, 2023 elections was won by PDP had it not split its votes across the Labour Party and NNPP. This analysis has a serious implication on 2027 elections. First, Tinubu's administration is unlikely to be unpopular in its first term because of the economic hardship caused by its deliberate policies such as removal of petrol subsidy and floating of Naira exchange rate. Therefore, 2027 elections will come at a time when things might still be turbulent because it takes a while for a radical reform to get well entrenched and trickle down to generate shared prosperity. Ideally, the most potent strategy that could guarantee Tinubu's success in 2027 is the divide and rule, maintaining a healthy alliance with at least Kano's NNPP so that its cult figure leader, Rabi Kokwanso, will close any window for Kwankwaso to reunite with Atiku and Obi to forge a formidable force that could jeopardize Tinubu's chance in 2027. Unfortunately, Tinubu has failed Kwankwaso by his aggression in wresting power from NNPP in Kano through a series of bizarre, contradictory, and unlawful court rulings. Tinubu's intention of ignoring the gentleman agreement and unashamedly attempting to snatch Kano mandate for his unpopular APC candidate Gawuna Ganduje seems rather not sagacious. It is a popular adage that you can lose a battle to win a war. Okay, having a friendly opposition in Kano is more useful to Tinubu than the backlash of robbing a popular mandate. So, as the saying goes in the Games of Thrones, the North remembers at the beginning it will appear as if Tinubu's camp has snatched a victory, but we all know the sentiment. Okay, in the North will always favor its own and can unite and fight together when sensing a danger signal from an outsider. It will remember how its stars are decimated and ravaged like the stacks by APC blind quest for power. My fear is how will they not react when it rallies around a charismatic court figure. Tinubu's ticket is already battling with the tag of excluding the vast Christian population. The Igbos and the minorities from oil-rich South are grumbling about exclusion. The ticket is apparently standing on partially crippled leg, supported largely by the strength of the North, especially Northwest, where Kano is the epicenter of East politics. So if Tinubu strips and ignites the fire of hatred among the Muslims North, the allied forces would emerge to change the narrative. I do hope my intervention will open the eyes of the strategists within the Tinubu's camp to change their thoughts on ill-thought judicial haste they are planning to stage in Kano. Ibrahim Musa is a public commentator. He writes from Rijia Zaki, Kano State. He can be reached at mwazamusa@yahoo.com. So what this guy is trying to write here is explaining the dynamics of politics in the North and the dynamics of politics right in Kano, which is the epicenter of electoral activities in the Northwest, popular Northwest. So, and he's trying to bring out the unpopularity of Tinubu's intention to use judiciary to upturn electoral victories that were against the APC at initial attempt. So what is happening here is that there's a ticking time bomb in the North, especially in Kano, both in this 2023 and then in 2027. So the writer Ibrahim Musa is trying to warn APC to retrace their steps because a time will come, and it has always happened, that when the system becomes very daring to them, they will rally around their own. And this time their own will either be Atiku or will be Kwankwaso. Especially in Kano, it is Kwankwaso. So we really need to be careful APC need to be careful the way they're using Ganduje to work against the will and the mandate of the people in Kano State. The guy has written, and it's a very complex piece that I think APC should understand and then retrace their step. It's not going to be easy. It's not a joke. The people are aggrieved that APC is using the judicial technicalities to rob them of their mandate. That will not happen. They will not keep quiet. That is the truth. They will not keep quiet. So we've got a few comments from here. Let me see. Comments from here. Okay. So people are reacting and are talking about how very soon the APC, the NNPP and the Kano people, the common man, they call it, is it Takawa or what, will definitely rise up against APC and against Tinubu. But first of all, because Tinubu's policies right now are not favoring anybody in Nigeria, ranging from the removal of the first subsidy to also the floating of the Nigerian naira exchange rate. All of these have made life very difficult for average Nigerian, and at a point they will have no option but to support their own. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment on this piece.